Ryder speaking out of Cornwall. This video is regarding the current madness. So we've got the budget and we've got the COVID inquiry. So we've got all people complaining about this tax, that tax, other tax, whatever, how it's going to affect them. The government don't know what they're doing, they do know what they're doing, depending on which side you're on. All utter, total, utter, complete nonsense. With the COVID inquiry, you've got all the same thing. We should have locked down earlier, we shouldn't have locked down at all this arguing. Deliberately not meant to get anywhere. Money is created as an unpayable debt to enslave people, and it could be created to free people. Simple as that. No one has ever found a disease causing viral pathogen, ever. Simple as that. So all that's happening is ignorant people perpetuating madness, and they are happy with that. And as regards the budget, this is why this chap Gary's Economics is going viral, because he's allowed to go viral, as though he's against the system when he's not talking anything about the nature of money. A man who's made his money from the investment banking trading satanic system. And you have to notice the psychology that's being used. You know, he probably dresses a little bit like me, talks in a normal accent like me. He's one of the lads, one of the working men, done good. Well, he done good in this evil satanic trading banking system. Doesn't tell you that. International companies are all about, it's a form of warfare, but legal warfare. Do we need trading? Of course we need trading. But I would very much doubt any of the trading going on at the moment is moral. So people like that are meant tax the rich, tax the rich. I've explained in my other videos, we shouldn't be paying tax at all. We can fund society just by printing our own money based on productivity. And the only reason you would need a tax would be to take the money out of society once that productivity has been done, or just push that money onto further productivity to stop inflation. I've explained that in another video, so I'm not going to repeat that. But everyone's going on about the budget now, and quite rightly, you want to see how it's going to affect you as an individual. Where's anyone going back down to the basics? Money is created as an unpayable debt to enslave mankind. Governments should not be borrowing any money off anyone when they can produce it themselves. They don't need to tax us to fund society. The only part of society they should be funding is the infrastructure. That's it. And the using of the resources which should belong to us. We shouldn't be forced to pay taxes to fund their political agendas. That isn't freedom. And everyone's arguing about the details, just as everyone argues about the details of the lockdown. Everyone argues about the details of vaccination and health. Nobody goes to the basics, because in the vaccination world, you have what I've done in other previous videos, the safe vaccine brigade. This is deliberate misinformation to keep people away from the basic truth. And I've said in other videos, when I've questioned my MP in front of people, a simple question, the country is approximately, at a very conservative estimate, 6 trillion in debt when you take into account different things. Where's this money come from? And he tried to skew me onto complicated economics. I brought him back to the original question. No. Where does that money come from? And then he started to insult me in front of people. They don't want to answer the simple questions. And the media is there to keep talking about the budget, about the details, so people get lost in the nonsense again. But never get anywhere like that, and they're happy for you to slate the government. Ask them to change this policy, change that tax. We want to get the farmers' tax at the moment. Shouldn't be paying tax at all. They should be confronting it as a criminal organisation. Government is nothing more than a mafia, and it needs to be spoken about in that way. They're happy for you to argue about this tax or that tax or another tax. That's why Gary's Economics gets 1 million views, because he's perpetuating the argument regarding tax. No one will tell you, or very few people are saying, actually, we shouldn't be paying any of this. Government is basically a criminal mafia. We can argue about, again, the lockdown all day. You're never going to get anywhere. You can argue about economics all day. You're never going to get anywhere. What people need is a balanced movement challenging the whole monetary system. Many years ago, there was the Bradbury Pound campaign, which needs to be brought back, really. The UK column and Justin Walker were pushing the Bradbury Pound National Credit Campaign. Somehow that needs to come back and start getting to the root of the problem. You know, it's like the foundation of a house. Everyone's arguing and fighting over what photos and pictures and what colour the wallpaper should be, but the whole foundation is rotten. You need to go back to the foundation. Money is created as an unpayable debt to enslave human beings. Governments have no need to be borrowing money, especially in our name, because it's our debt. It's complete fraud, especially for their own agendas. And still, until people stop arguing over the details and complaining and understand the nature of the monetary system, it's all there in my videos for free, not going to get anywhere. And we did a huge campaign now, not about fighting over the details of this tax going to affect me and that and how we're going to be made poorer and poorer. A new Bradbury type national credit campaign by people who actually understand what money is, where it comes from and how it functions, which is all laid out in my videos for free. The idea of these videos is people take the information, make it their own, make it true to themselves first. You have to understand this, and then start challenging in society with this. When I challenged the MP in front of 50 people, I was completely outnumbered, no support. What would happen if 45 of them people understood the monetary system? Yeah, you would force your MP would have to do something. It's a numbers game. It's as simple as that. I haven't got time for anybody complaining about how much tax they've got to pay. People who are not willing to look into what this is actually all about themselves. Whinging and complaining, they're happy for it. It's just children throwing a tantrum. It's all it is, children throwing a tantrum. The farmers have let all this criminality go. Maybe it hasn't affected them, so they haven't noticed it. Now it's affecting them. Oh, they're throwing a tantrum now. But they're not willing to go into the foundation of the structure of this whole thing. And until people are willing to do that, won't get anywhere at all. The budget and the COVID inquiry is just ignorance being perpetuated. Nonsense, should I say, being perpetuated by ignorance. Simple as that. And it's total, utter, complete nonsense.